Hello, welcome to Knit in the City. I am Rebecca and the city is Malmö, and we are suffering through a heat wave in the beginning of September. Yesterday was 28 degrees, which is quite uncommon for this time of year. Today is only 22, but it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, so that would probably change. If you're wondering about the light in here, it's because the sun hasn't reached this part of the apartment yet. It's somewhere up here over the roof. But yeah, hopefully you can still see me. Today I am back with a monthly roundup of August, and I will talk about the things that I have finished the previous month. I will talk about my plans for August and what happened to them. I will also talk about some rogue cast-ons, which is something that always happens to me for some reason. And then I will talk a little bit about my plans for September. So let's dive in. The first finished object that I have for this month is the outline tee. And I will put a picture here because I cannot stand up. It's too hot to wear things on, to wear anything more than underwear on the bottom half of your body. So you get it. I'm in a t-shirt and underwear. Yeah, never mind. This is the outline tee, just made designs. I have knit this in 100% cotton yarn from Selfmade. That is called Colorful Fraya. This was a really fun knit, especially when you had to just let these stitches go and run all the way through the project, which was also quite scary because I wasn't sure if they were going to end up where they were supposed to end up, that I let the right stitch go. Because you make a yarn over in the beginning, and to stop the thing from running all the way down the ribbing on the bottom, which is a twisted rib like here, you have to hit the yarn over. And I actually did at every point, so I'm really happy about that. I haven't worn this a lot because it hasn't been finished that long, and don't know, it feels kind of nice. This is a fingering weight cotton, so it's not super hot. It's definitely wearable. I actually made the smallest size by mistake. I wanted to make size 2, but when I cast on the stitches, I didn't have the yarn was not long enough to make the stitches for the second size, and then I decided to stay on size 1 instead of starting over doing it again. And actually it fits. It's not tight or snug or anything. It's not as oversized as it's supposed to be, but generally I don't like that anyway. So I'm pretty happy with the result. The next of my finished objects is a rogue cast on, because I was feeling like autumn should be here now. And I have talked about this pattern quite a few times in the past. And these are the interchangeable mitten liners by Emily Foden. And I have knit, this is also yarn from Selfmade. It is a thin wool yarn that I don't remember what it's called. And a silk mohair that I also don't know the name of. The name of the yarns is Fraya, but they're called different adjectives. And I can put them on my hand so you can see. These are super fluffy, soft, and nice in all kinds of ways. I really love that they have a really long cuff. It's not actually a cuff, it's just a rolled hem. But this part is really long, which I like, because otherwise you easily get, if there's like a little, you know what I mean, where the jacket ends here and then the mitten starts. That's very unpleasant when it's cold outside. So these are supposed to be worn under another mitten, which I will talk about later. So it's a double layered thing, which is great because with knitted mittens, if you are biking and it's really cold, the wind will go through the stitches. These have an interesting way of making the thumb. So you're making the increases on the outside here. And yeah, I mean, not much more to say about this. I Kitchener stitched the top together. In the pattern it says to just pull the thread through and just pull it. But that tends to make a little hole on top of the mitten, so I did the Kitchener stitch instead. As much as I talked about this for such a long time and never made them, they were really quick to make. So I really shouldn't have waited that long. The next finished object is the BB balaclava that I made for my daughter. And this is a free pattern, and you start making this part, and then you pick up stitches all around here and make the head part, and then you do the ribbing for the neck, and after that you pick up stitches all around the face, and this is a double knitted rib face thingy. I'm gonna put it on and I'm gonna ruin my hair. It's a little bit tight to get over my head, but it's not made for me, so that, oh wow, that doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't think this is a great look for me, but I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be warm. I made this holding one strand of Drops Fabel and one strand of Drops Kidsilk together. And it looks and feels really fluffy. This color is a little bit itchy. I think the Kidsilk is light beige. I mean, some of the Kidsilks are soft, but this is not one of them. And the Drops Fabel, the sock yarn, is called Wheat. My daughter has approved of this. She tried it on, she liked it, she didn't complain about itchiness. So, and also when it gets colder, you don't feel the itch as much. So I feel like this was a success. The reason I stopped knitting on this was because I ran out of yarn. But then I got a chance to order some new yarn, and now it's done. The next one is something that I talked about casting on for a long time, and this I actually finished in September. And it's the square neck camisole. And I'm gonna call this a finished object even though I haven't sewn these together under the arms and here at the back. So as you can see, this is a ribbed camisole, and this looks a lot better on. And I'm actually thinking to finish up the last pieces, and then I will show you what it looks like when I'm wearing it. I made this in a size large, and when you see it like this, it looks like there's no way it's gonna fit. But this is a 3/3 rib, and it's like super stretchy. It could actually fit someone bigger than me. I have made this in Hjertegarn. And what is this yarn called? Lana Cotton 212, I think. And this is a cotton merino blend. So I would say it's too hot for summer wear, unless we're having some cool days. But I mean, I think I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of this during autumn with something on top, like a jacket, a cardigan, anything like that. This was not as annoying as you would think. You knit this on 3mm needles. And I mean, this is an ingenious construction because you do a Judy's Magic cast on. When you cast on, it's knit top down, the straps. So you don't have to pick up any stitches after the fact, well, you do, but that's when you're making the neckband and the bands for the sleeve, not sleeves, armholes. But you knit the whole thing like all the way down, and then you pick up stitches for the armholes, and this is double knitting and also around the whole neckline. And even though my double knitting is not super neat, it does look very polished with a finishing touch like this. I mean, the double knitting is, yeah, it looks really pretty. So I think this is going to get a lot of wear. And that was the last finished object of the month. And it wasn't actually of this month, but yeah. Since it's done, I wanted to talk about it. And I have also talked about it in my plans for like a couple of months. So I wanted to show you that it actually happened. Okay, my August plans. The UFOs I decided that I wanted to tackle was the 9 p.m. tank. Did I do that? I definitely did not. But now I've done a lot of double knitting, so perhaps perhaps it's gonna happen this month. I don't have it here, unfortunately, but if you've been following me for a while, you have seen it way too many times. I can put a picture for those who don't know what I'm talking about. I'll pull from the designer's picture, because the picture I have in Ravelry is just a heap of yarn, pretty much. What I have made thus far is the top of the torso, like about this much. And then I have done the double knitting, the strap that is made in double knitting, one strap. And then I didn't get to the second strap, and I haven't for months. So that's why this is a UFO. Yeah. Then the other UFO that I planned to knit on was the confetti cake socks. And if you saw my how long does it take to finish episode, then you've seen these, because I actually did finish them. And I think it took me only an hour and 20 minutes, something like that, which is ridiculous when you think about it, because these have been lying around since last autumn. I'm not going to talk anymore about these. If you want to know more, go check out that episode. Yes, the whips I wanted to work on in August was the Cumulus T. This is a sad story. I have not been working on it because I started making it in a cotton linen yarn, also from Hjertegarn. And after that, I mean, I started making it in extra large because that's what it said I should with the measurements that I have. It came out ginormous, so I decided to go down to a medium. And I also changed the yarn to Sandnes tynn, which is a little bit thinner than the other yarn I was using. It's a little bit wrinkly now. And I stole the needles for a different project. I think that was the square neck camisole. So I can put them back now. It fits up here. It fits over my bust, but then it's a bit wide going down as well. I mean, still, even in size medium. I was thinking to make decreases to get down to a size S or XS, I don't know. But I mean, in my mind, summer's over, even though the weather does not agree. So I am going to put this away for the season and concentrate on autumn knits. I do have one summer knit that I want to finish, but that doesn't carry all the trauma that this piece does. So yeah, the Cumulus T to be continued in the spring. I will happily put this away and I can solve the problems then, because they're not going anywhere. Okay, the next thing, the next whip that I wanted to work on in August was the Kylie sweater. no, not sweater, pullover. And the reason I stopped was that I ran out of yarn. Then I got a chance to order some new yarn because my mother and my aunt wanted yarn. So I had finished the body. No, I didn't. I hadn't finished the body. I had almost finished the body. I had like this much left on the hem. I got some new yarn, and I have finished the neckline. Because you pick up stitches and make. You could choose between making a ribbing, or you could alternate. You make like one round of stockinette, one round of garter, one round of stockinette, one round of garter, and then bind off. But I chose the ribbing, which is ended in an Italian bind off, which I now feel like I'm moderately good at. But this is a plant fiber yarn. This is Drops Belle, which is a mixture of viscose, linen, and cotton. And it's not as forgiving as wool, as we all know. So if you look at the hem, you can see that, I mean, this shows everything. You can see that my Italian bind off is not as neat as it is in my woolly projects. But I will block it and hope for the best. I did start the sleeve as well, and this has been like the month of sleeves, which I'm not very happy about, because I find sleeves really boring for some reason. But I'm like halfway done with this one, and I've got the other one as well. And I'm making this long sleeved. I definitely have enough yarn now. And I also feel like even this, though this is a different dye lot, it still looks pretty much the same. And I was thinking, even if it wasn't perfect, the body would be one and the sleeves would be a difference. So it still wouldn't be like a line all across the front or something like that. Yeah, this is a fun knit. It has become a bit repetitive because it's the same pattern all over the body, all over the sleeves. So, I mean, I don't feel super enthusiastic working on it, but I do want to finish it. And with the weather being like this, I guess I could wear it for even in a few weeks. Yeah, so that's Kylie for you. And the other thing that the other whip that I wanted to work on was actually already finished in July. And I think I talked about it in the July roundup, but I didn't have it. So you haven't seen the finished object. This is the Tip Top Tank. And this is a free pattern. It's been in my drawer, so it has... I can put a picture of this as well. This is... Did I say it was a free pattern? I think I did. Super nice. I mean, I really like the finished object. I have knit this in Viking bamboo, which is a 50% cotton, 50% bamboo. It is a rather heavy yarn, but this is a small piece, so it doesn't really matter. This is knit from the bottom up with a split hem. And I've actually worn this already. It is a tad warm because of the heavy fabric. I love the V-neck, both front and back. It's the same in the front and back. And it has these decorative rows of pearl stitches down the sides. And the straps are bra friendly. Yeah, I mean, it's just a really, really nice design that I highly recommend. And since it's a free pattern, you only need the yarn. I don't think it took that. I mean, I think maybe 4 balls. These are 50-gram balls. And yeah, super happy with this. The only thing is that these straps roll inwards. But I mean, I haven't really, I have blocked it and I have not. I've washed it and laid it flat to dry. I didn't have any needles to pin it, or I didn't have any pins. So if I had pinned it, it would probably have stayed a little bit more like this. But I mean, it's never too late. I can do that anytime. This also has an addition to it, which is also free, where you can make little bow ties. Or like, you don't sew these together, you just make them longer and then you can tie them into a bow, which is also really cute. But I think I only had 4 balls of this yarn, so I couldn't do that. Next time. And this comes in a sport DK weight version and also a fingering weight version. So this is the sport / DK. I think the yarn is DK. And yeah, I am planning to make a fingering weight one, but I think that will have to wait until spring, because I am over the summer knitting. I mean, I had a lot of fun, but it was a lot. Okay, the new things I wanted to cast on in August was the outline tee, which I did, and I finished it, and we're all very happy. And the square neck camisole, which I also did, and I also finished. So, I mean, I can be proud of myself this month. The things I wanted to finish was the Kylie pullover, which didn't happen because I didn't have the yarn. The 9 p.m. tank, which I just failed to because I was really bored with it. Yeah, it's not a super fun knit, but it's gonna be really pretty once it's done. And I also wanted to finish the confetti cake socks, which I already had the month before, and the tip top tank, the same thing there. So, I mean, it's been a pretty good month, I have to say. Then I have some things that I have been working on that I didn't plan to. And the first 2 I am very happy about, because these were old things that had been lying around for a very long time. This is Vardag, which is a half brioche sweater made in svensk ull from Järbo, and that just means Swedish wool. And Järbo had an initiative where they collected wool from Swedish sheep that would otherwise have been thrown away, and that is the yarn. I only have this little bit left of this skein. The thing with this was that I'd made the body. This is knit top down. It has a slit in the side and it's a little bit longer in the back. I'd made the body and it had been like that for a really long time. I did start the sleeve, but when I began making decreases, they looked awful. So I ripped out the sleeve and it just hung out like that for years. But then the other day, I just thought that I am brave enough to continue with this. And now I have made a 3/4 sleeve, if I'm being generous. I have to say that the decreases still don't look amazing, but I'm thinking this is going to be here underneath my arm, and I don't usually walk around like this. So, I mean, no one's gonna see it, and they're not as appalling as they were the first time. So I'm just gonna go with this. This yarn is very warm, a little bit prickly, but really lovely. I do appreciate the color. Since this is a half brioche, it takes a long time to knit, but that's okay. The next thing that I started working on this month is another thing that has been lying around for a really long time, and this is Fastos Kofa by Maja Karlsson, and that translates as Auntie's cardigan. And this is knit from the bottom up with a steek and all over stranded color work. I am knitting this in Klippans tvåtrådiga, which is 100% wool yarn, 2-ply, and Libbsticka finsk lantras, which is a lovely, this is from a Finnish sheep breed, and it is rustic but still shiny and quite soft. I finished the body. It looks short, but I intend to wear it over a dress, and when I attach the sleeves I am going to try it on, and if it feels too short I could just add a few rounds to the body, no problem. I just bound off a few stitches where the armholes are supposed to be. So that felt really good because I've been working on this forever. And to continue month of sleeves, so it's a Kylie, the Vardag sleeve, and I started the first sleeve here. I have so many needles in here because there's one for the ribbing and then one for the color work. Here is the first sleeve. I actually knit more on this because there's supposed to be, here on the side, you can see that it's a little bit different here. You put your initials here, but I made a mistake because this little blobby thing is supposed to go on both sides here. You get a chart where you fill in your own letters instead of the letters of the designer. And in that little chart, these are not there, which meant I didn't make them. And then it looked really empty here because that one was there, but it was just white all the way here and then the letter in the middle. So I decided to rip it out because, I mean, it's only like, I don't know, 5-6 rounds. So yeah, that's why this is super short. But that is the third sleeve this month. And another thing that I also picked back up is the Ballerina wrap top, which is a free pattern on the designer's website. I am knitting this in Järbo bambu Raggi, which is a sock yarn, and Viking garn. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it is a Kidsilk mohair. And it just makes a really pretty multicolored fabric. I haven't knit much on this. I'm trying to get these to meet, and I have put it on an extra, no, it's 2 cords because I want to be able to try it on all the time so that I can see exactly when these 2 parts overlap, because then I'm going to start to make a ribbed hem. So, I mean, not much has happened since you last saw this. And I also took the needles, when I got the yarn for the Kylie pullover, I took the needles from here to finish the sleeves on that one. So I worked on it until I got that yarn, and after that it's been resting some more. What else? Yes, I also I did a few rogue cast-ons that I'm also going to talk about. One of them is really crazy. I will tell you about that at the end. But the first one is not too bad. I told you about the mitten liners that I finished. And Emily Foden also made the Persephone mittens that are supposed to go over the mitten liners. So I started making I've only made half of the first mitten. It has like a really cute picot edge. And then this thing here that looks, they're so decorative. That is just a round of knits and pearls, like a rib, one rib. And then there are some cute, these are yarn overs and knits and pearls. And it has the same thumb construction as the mitten liners. And I can actually show you what they look like together. Yeah, this is the right hand. And there is a row of knits and pearls on the inside as well. And these two patterns are from her very beautiful book, Knits About Winter. So this one sticks out a little bit underneath the other one. And I feel like this is going to be really nice and warm and cozy when winter sets in. I am knitting this in Rauma finull, which is a favorite of mine. It's rustic, but when you wash it, it softens up. And it's just really nice to knit with. It's perfect for color work because it's a little bit grabby. And it's a fingering, like a thicker fingering, between sport and fingering, I would say. Yes. So not feeling too bad about that. The other row cast on was another pair of mitten liners that I'm knitting for my daughter. This is for my oldest one in this wine color. This is also a wool and a mohair from Selfmade. This mohair does not have any silk in it, so it's not as soft as the other ones. And I'm planning to make the same mitten liners for little sister, but in a green yarn. I have the same combination of yarns in green as well, also in navy blue, but I think green is more her color. Yeah, I knit these on 2.5s, but I mean, they're pretty quick. I have just started increasing for the thumb. I mean, this is really dark, I have to hold it in the light. Yeah, so these were just started. Okay, what else have I been doing that I shouldn't have? I actually, started the Never Ending Story sweater by, you can see it, it's a German designer that I have been wanting to knit from. So this is the first time I'm knitting from. I think she was actually, yeah, she was in the 6 designers I would like to knit from. I haven't knit from yet that are fabulous, something like that. I don't even remember what I called that episode. But yeah, this is the Never Ending Story. This is also a half brioche or fisherman's rib. And the reason, I've had the yarn for a really long time. I just hadn't bought the pattern, which was silly because it's quite a cheap pattern. Cheaper than most. It's like, what is it? €5 or something like that. And the reason I've only made this much is that the increases that you make here, this is the back neck, the increases that you make here along the sides are quite complicated, or at least complicated enough that I cannot remember them in my head. And this half brioche is not made the same way as the half brioche in this sweater. So then I also can't remember that. So I have to check the pattern for both these things, and you find them in different parts of the pattern. And I usually don't print out my patterns. I just look at them on my laptop or the phone, which means I have to flip back and forth. I also can't do anything else while I'm doing this. So yeah, that's why this is so small. And this yarn is Viking merino something. Yeah, it will be in the description box. All the names of the yarns will be there. And in this lovely dusty sea green color that I actually bought to make this sweater. And the naughtiest of all the rogue cast-ons is a sock. I know, I have like 6 sock UFOs waiting to get knitted. I don't want to because I hate them all, because they've just been, I don't know, they've been not been very nice. They haven't been very nice to me. We're not friends. But yeah, I cast on a sock. It's called Pepparkakeland, which means like gingerbread country. It's from a Swedish Christmas song. And it is supposed to be gingerbread cookies. There is hearts, goats, and these down here are supposed to be a man and a woman. The cuff is really cute with yarn overs, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't really hug your foot, but it's very decorative. The yarns I'm making this from, the white is a Drops Fabel that was a leftover from Halloween cowls that I made for my daughters. And the brown, I mean, I had to look for a long time before I found the perfect gingerbread brown. And this is Kremke Soul Wool Edelweiss. And this is, let me check now so I don't lie to you. It's a fingering weight yarn, that much I know. It's 75% wool and then 25% polyester that has been recycled. So this is a bit more environmentally friendly than your go-to sock yarn. And yeah, this pattern was written for a size 30 EU, I think, size 37 foot, which is kind of a small woman's foot, which I don't have. I'm a 41. If I have the energy, I can make conversions. So I added, at the end, I can show you. I added some stitches. So I'm making a little heart here at the end of each border to accommodate my bigger foot. Yes. So, I mean, this was super naughty, but I mean, I'm kind of enjoying this, so I feel like I'm just gonna go with the flow and hopefully finish these before Christmas. Yes, that was all of the knitting, and now I'm going to talk about my plans for September. And then I have to check my little book. The UFOs that I want to work on in September is Lauder, the Rebecca Clow pattern. I don't have that here because I'm going to rip it out since it's way too small. I'm knitting it in Drops Lima. I've only made a little piece. It's also the back neck I started on. But yeah, I even measured gauge and I have way too many stitches. So I'm gonna start over. The other UFO is the 9 p.m. tank. I mean, I really have to get to that. But I feel like now I started making progress on this. I started making progress on this. These things that have been lying around for a really long time. So I feel like this is the season of finishing. I hope I am not jinxing myself now, but that's what I'm hoping for. The whips I want to work on are the ones I just showed you. Fastos Kofa, Vardag, and then also the Kylie pullover, because I would love to finish this before it gets really cold and I can't wear it anymore. New cast-ons. I actually haven't put any new cast-ons for the month of September because as you may have noticed, I have made 2 autumn knitting plans videos. One is a regular one where I just present patterns that I absolutely love and I want to make this autumn. The other one is an autumn UFO episode where I go through all my UFOs that I want to finish during autumn, which is actually not relevant for this category, but still. And then I'm also planning to make a third autumn plans episode where I include patterns that I already have in my library, because it's wasteful to buy a lot of patterns and then not knit any of the pieces. And yes, so, and from these 3 episodes, I'm going to pick the projects that I want to make. And after that, I will decide what new cast-ons I will do. So I'm gonna leave that blank for now. The things I want to finish in September is Kylie, like you may have gotten that from the way I've been talking. And then also the 9 p.m. I feel like that's more wishful thinking, but we will see. The Kylie I will hopefully finish. I'll bring her to knit night, so, and then it could probably happen. Because I've actually memorized, or not really memorized, but you can actually, while you're knitting, you can see which round is going to come next. So even though it doesn't look like it, it is a great social knitting. Yes. Okay. That was all I had for today. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye!